What's up, guys? My name is Brock. You're watching The Modest Man. First off, I just want to thank you for your support and for watching my videos. You know, this channel is about to hit 100,000 subscribers, which blows my mind. That's like the size of a very large football stadium. And, you know, I can't believe it. So, you know, I just really appreciate your viewership, you watching and liking and commenting and disliking, and of course, subscribing. And, you know, obviously none of this would be possible without you. You know, I do this full time, and I couldn't do this full time without you. I also couldn't do it without a few really solid sponsors. And you guys know I don't do a ton of sponsored videos. You know, I'm very, very selective about which brands I partner with. And, you know, today's sponsor, Ace Marks, is one of those brands that I really enjoy working with. They've been a friend and a partner of The Modest Man for a couple of years now. And so I'm excited to tell you about their new Kickstarter campaign. Okay, I know you've heard about Ace Marks, but I'll give you a quick overview of the brand, let you know why I think they're different than other shoe companies, and then I'll tell you everything you need to know about their current Kickstarter campaign. Of course, there's a link down in the description to that. Okay, Ace Marks launched back in 2016 with what was at the time the most successful footwear Kickstarter campaign to date. Then in 2017, they shattered their own record by raising over $1 million on Kickstarter for their new shoe collection. Since then, they've sold a lot of shoes, they've built up their customer base, they've shipped to over 80 countries. I actually got my first pair after meeting the founder, Paul, at a conference a couple years ago, and they've become my go-to black Oxfords. Now, unlike traditional shoe companies, Ace Marks is a direct-to-consumer brand. They sell their shoes directly to their customers through their website rather than going through retailers like Nordstrom's. So there's no retail markup, and that's why they can keep their prices pretty low. And of course, they can put this extra margin toward premium materials and construction quality and product development. But you've heard that before, right? You know, there are a lot of companies that are doing the direct-to-consumer, online-only, luxury without the markup thing. A lot of them were born on Kickstarter, and I know that's kind of a common business model these days. So really, what sets Ace Marks apart from the competition? I think it comes down to three things. Number one, they use what's called a Blake Flex Stitch construction. This produces a lightweight, very flexible shoe with a very sleek silhouette compared to, say, a Goodyear welted shoe. It is noticeably different in look and feel than a shoe that's made with a Goodyear welt. Speaking of Goodyear welt, I just want to clear some stuff up. There's this misconception that any shoe that doesn't have Goodyear welt construction is somehow inferior, and this is simply not true. There are pros and cons to Goodyear welt, there are pros and cons to Blake stitch construction, and they're really just different. One isn't better than the other. And I'm not just making this up. If you ask any expert, if you go on Style Forum, Ask Andy About Clothes, Gentleman's Gazette, you'll hear the same thing. There are plenty of very, very high quality luxury shoes that don't have Goodyear welt construction. There's also this myth that Blake stitch shoes can't be resold. Again, that's totally false. I don't know why it's such a pervasive, persistent myth. Blake stitch shoes can be reconstructed with the right equipment, just like Goodyear welt shoes. Now, with Ace Marks sneakers, which are new this year, obviously they don't have Goodyear welt or Blake stitch construction, but they do have stitched outsoles, which are much higher quality and much more durable than glued outsoles, which you'll find on cheaper shoes like, you know, Converse or Vans. The second thing I like about Ace Marks is the fact that their shoes are truly handmade. All of their shoes are handcrafted from full grain calfskin. They're hand-dyed, hand-burnished in Italy by a family of fourth-generation shoemakers. Now, given this level of production, Ace Marks could easily sell these shoes for several $100s, but the fact that they sell them directly to consumers helps them keep that price down. And if you pre-order via one of their Kickstarter campaigns, like the one that's going on now, you can get them for under $200 a pair, which is a ridiculously low price for these shoes. Okay, and the third thing I love about Ace Marks, and the thing that I think really sets them apart from other shoe companies, is the fact that they make their shoes in a wide variety of sizes. You know, a lot of shoe companies stop at around size 8 US, and that sucks for guys like me who have smaller feet. You know, I wear a size 7 in most brands. I know a lot of guys wear size 6 or size 5. Ace Marks makes all the way down to size 5 and up to size 14 US, which is very refreshing, and I really appreciate the fact that they don't ignore those two segments of their customers. Okay, now that we've covered the brand, let's talk about this particular campaign. Now, I'm supposed to talk about their new Oxfords and their new loafers, but honestly, I'm most excited about their new sneakers. Now, you already know that minimal leather sneakers, you know, made in Italy, fully lined, are, you know, very cool, very versatile shoes that can be very, very expensive. You know, it's not uncommon to pay maybe $400 or $500 for a shoe that basically looks like this one, and that's made with the same construction methods. And when you pay that much for a sneaker, you know, it's painful because you're paying a little bit of markup for the retailer and you're paying a little bit for the brand name. You know, if you think about, like, if you buy a pair of Common Projects from somewhere like Barney's or Saks, you know, there's a reason that that costs $500, and it's not all about the quality of the shoe, even if they are high quality shoes. Most guys don't want to spend that much on sneakers, and I fully understand that. In fact, I almost bought a pair of Common Projects a couple of months ago, and you know, they just didn't quite fit my foot right, so I ended up returning them. And with that money that I saved, that money that I got back, I could buy 2 or 3 pairs of Ace Mark sneakers. Now, they sent me this kind of two-tone blue pair as a sneak preview, and they're pretty cool, but honestly, I'd probably go for like all white or all black, especially if it was my first pair of sneakers. If you already have a pair of all white and all black, maybe, you know, try a more experimental kind of different color. I know they have like some off-whites and some grays and some white and grays. But you know, if it's your first pair, probably go for like all white. But regardless of color, these are nice shoes. These sneakers are fully lined, and that means that just like with boat shoes, you could wear these without socks if you wanted to. Of course, you could also wear them with no-show socks, which is what I would probably usually do. Just like their dress shoes, they're handmade, they have a stitched outsole, and they're just good shoes for a good price. Now, obviously, I haven't road tested these things. These are just samples, so I can't really comment on the durability, but you know, if these are anything like Ace Mark's dress shoes, I have no doubt that they'll last for a very long time and age beautifully. I think these sneakers are a fantastic deal, especially if you get them for the Kickstarter price of less than $150. And if you're in the market for some dress shoes, you know, you can check out their new collection as well. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about these sneakers? Have you tried Ace Marks? What do you think about the brand? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, stay stylish.